welcome to assembly. So, you remember all the lines we put on here? I went ahead and pre-drilled those with a tap block to ensure that all my holes were straight. I'm not really going to cover that, because you guys should be able to figure that one out. And so then you can do your own screw patterns and figure out where you want to do your placement and all that, good stuff. So, for right now, we're going to start gluing. We're going to start on this back edge here. We're going to glue it in. We're going to put some clamps on it. We're going to turn it over, and it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws. Okay? So that's going to be step one. Let's get our glue. It's over here in front of the heater. We're at, with our wind chill tonight, we're at 0 degrees. So, trying to make sure we're staying on par here for keeping track of everything and make sure everything's working right. Okay, so you see where your screw holes are going to be. Well, that's exactly where your piece is going to sit. Okay, so when you put your glue on, just try to stay right there in line with the screws because you're going to brush it out. And you're going to have I've never done this and not had too much glue. Sorry, my brushes are still crusty from last time. I wasn't really prepared tonight. I was just worried about the cooling and the heating. So I just go through, I brush it all out. About as wide as your board. You don't want to go real crazy here. I'm going to put a little extra right there. You got to remember this glue is just as strong as the screws. So once this stuff, it dries, it's on. It's there. So, all right, got plenty of glue all the way across. I got a bunch of stuff on my table here. I'm going to have to reorganize. Okay, we got glue there. Move our speed square, our block. We don't need that. Okay, so first thing first, this one right here. We're going to set it on there and we're going to flush it up on the ends and on the side. Yep, just like that. And then we're going to put one clamp on it. Oh, come on, clamp, don't be contrary. Now what I did is I put a couple of spare pieces of board underneath here. Okay, so that's how mine's setting up a little higher. I would suggest you do the same. It really helps in the long run. So let's start right here in the middle. Put a little bit of tension right there in the center. Okay, so let's make sure we're still flush. It looks like the middle there is a little over. So, okay, all right, so we got that one on. I'm going to put one more on the end, and then I'm going to shoot a couple screws. I'm going to put a couple more, I'm going to put another clamp right here. You guys can't even see the clamp, can you? Man, I'm sorry. Well, when I lay it forward, you'll be able to see it. I'm sorry I'm very limited here on the what I can film and what I can't because of how big this stuff is. So, but I will get you a shot of these clamps, I promise. I was trying to get a little bit of help with some film crew, but it didn't end up happening out here, so. Alright, so now those are flush. I feel good about it. Here's where you're going to be able to see my clamps, okay? Now there's my 2 clamps. You see them on there? It's holding this joint flush for me. Alright? So what I will do is I get this one. Can you see my finger right here? Nope, barely. Oh man, this thing is, I'm sorry to move you like that, but. Okay, so right here, I want to flush this one first, and we're going to shoot this first screw right here. But this to me is not real flush, so let's get our dead blow. Okay. I'm going to tap it, just barely. You just want to flush it up. That's all you're trying to do here. Well, okay, here we go. So first screw, can you guys see me right here? Nope. Man, I don't know how to do this better. I'm sorry that this is so complicated. Maybe if I lift the camera up higher, you guys can look down on me. Let's come with me for a second, and we're going to lift you up a little bit higher and see if I can get a better angle on this. So let's bring you all the way down. Well, it's being contrary. Give me a second. Oh, I just stuck both of my sleeves in the glue. That's always nice. Okay. Well, it's not being nice. I'm sorry. Oh, I should have done this crap off camera. I think that's all the way up. Yep, you're all the way up there. All right, so. All right, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to reposition. I'll bring you back. All right, let's start over here. Had some technical difficulties. Hopefully I got a good angle there. You can see the side I'm starting on. I've flushed my corners here. So I have my front baffle right here in front of me. It's hard to see. My side baffle. This is pre-drilled and marked. See right here? Okay. Sorry, I'm not trying to be too rudimentary here. So the first thing you got to do is I want to run my screw hole all the way in. Okay. Now for you guys not doing screws, you know, sorry, this is going to be a little bit for you guys, but okay, so first screw. And she flushed. You get a little bit of glue squish. That's what you want to see. So that means you're putting some pressure on it. It's looking good. Second one, I think here. We got a little bit of a high spot right there. I'm not real happy with it. We'll have to do some sanding. We're nice and really nice and flush right there. So, you know, I'm not going to push the issue. Actually, you know, we can put screws right here and then squeeze that. So let's do that. We're going to drill our hole here. All right. And yes, for anybody wondering, I'm using an impact. It drills really well. So, all right. So put you some force, going slow here that you're not splitting, and then just barely countersink your screw. You just want it to where you're not going to hit it when you sand on top, and you're pretty good there. Okay, so now our piece is in place. All right, I'm going to prove it to you here. We're going to take both of our clamps off. All right. Hopefully you guys can see everything I'm doing here. A little bit crazy, I know. I got you guys mounted in the ceiling, so it can get crazier, you know what I mean? All right, so what we decided is let's wipe our glue off here. We don't want glue on our... I like cleaning excess glue now. That way I don't have to do it later. Hopefully you guys are along with me. You can see what I'm doing here. Oh, no, you can't. Man, not having a good time with this camera. Okay, so we're going to squeeze this in a little bit because I want a better fit right here. So let's just go ahead and scope her out. Get right on the edge. Right there is where we want. And I'm going to push this board down a little bit. And right there, she is nice and flush. So I'm real happy with that. I used this to push my board down. Okay. Now I haven't pre-drilled yet, so let's go ahead and let's sink our drill. I mean, you don't want to drill until you get your board right where you want it, because if you pre-drill before, then you're just, you know, you're kicking yourself. Go ahead and drill this one. All right. Oh, okay. Everybody with us? Oh, with me, I guess. I'm the only one here. All right. I'm going to try to give you a close-up of this. See, that's what you don't want. A little bit of pooch, but we're going to router this. We're going to sand it. So, you know, nobody's perfect. You're going to have some little flaws in the making. That one pooched a little bit, but not bad. I'm liking it. One more screw to finish her off. And this is why I like doing this way. Now watch. That is a fully intact and glued piece there. Can you guys see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got all 5 screws in, and she is tight and glued. Okay? So our next one, we're basically going to do the same thing. This is the opposing side. We're going to do this side. Okay? Now, I always like to double check. Tweeters on top. Saw blades towards the tweeter. We're good. Look at our lines inside. They line up really well. So we're happy with that. Okay? Alright, so now let's get some glue in it. And we're going to do just like we did before. If y'all can stick here with me. Okay. So I'll put you a bead of glue. Right there like chop. And then spread her out. You just want the most surface area for your glue. You know, that's our goal here. And I put a little bit more in those areas there. You know, you want it to seal, so if it split on you when you drilled it, or shot a nail through, you know, a shiner, just throw some little glue in there. This glue will take it all day. It's really good stuff. Really strong, okay? Now, here's where we need to be very careful. We want to look at our piece that we're putting on, okay? Actually, I'm going to spin you around, and I'm going to do it on this side. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay, so it looks different now. Okay, so we're going to flip this over. Or, you know, the shredder. See, the shredder is up towards the tweeter, and we're going to set her down. Let's get you guys over here in focus. Okay, so we're doing. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. So we're doing the same thing here. I'm going to flush this up. I'm going to go ahead and get one clamp on it. Okay. Alright, so it looks like it came a little bit cattywampus there. Now that looks real good. We're flush. Our middle's flush. Now that's golden right there. So if you can achieve that on the first try, you're half the battle's over right there. So since I know that that's where I want it, I'm gonna put a little bit more tighten it down a little bit more. I'm gonna move this to where I can get one more clamp on it. I like to do 2. I never trust that middle one 100%. So I'm gonna move right here to this edge. Pop this up a little bit, and I'm gonna put one more clamp right here. Okay. All right, and then I'm gonna lean her forward so you guys can see what I'm doing, just like I did on the last one. And now, if you see, our bottom side is actually sitting. Can you see my hand here? The bottom side is actually sitting on the piece that we screwed in first. So that's a good sign. That means, you know, we're getting good contact. Everything's setting good. Get some of this excess glue off of here. Good with that. Okay. All right, so I'm going to start. Right here is really, really nice. So hopefully you guys can see me right here. I'm going to drill. Let's move you forward a little bit. All right, right there. Okay, so these are pre-drilled holes. Our pre-made holes here. I'm going to drill into the 3/4. Looks real good. We're going to go ahead and sink a screw in it, and that's going to hold us in place. Okay. Trying not to make this real long. I'm sorry, I don't know how long it is already. I'm just trying to... Perfect. Got a little bit of glue squish. That's what we're looking for. Tells us we're doing our job. So we're going to go ahead and sink one on this corner over here. It's looking really good. Nice and flush. Whew, that glue is nasty. All right, go ahead and sink one on this corner. Oh, that one took really well. Very happy with that. All right. Get a couple more here. All right. I tried to line these up to where I'm hitting in between the layers. And I think if you can do that, I think it'll really help you. So, and what I mean by that, this is plywood, 3/4 inch birch. So in between it, if you can see right here, you have layers. And I'm trying to drill out one of the layers in between. That way, you know, it's sort of sandwiched in. And anyway, that's my goal here. All right, that one got a little hot. I'm getting a lot of glue on my drill. That's just expected on my bit. So sink that one down. Not bad. We're getting very good coverage here. I'm really happy with how everything's looking. So that's a goal. Woo! Sunk that one a little long, but we will sand that. Oh, sheesh. Okay. So these can come off. We're 100% secure now. That's why I start on the outsides and work my way in case I need to unbow anything on the boards themselves. All right. Okay, so I'm going to take a time right now, and I'm going to go ahead and scrape this excess glue off of here. That's just less we're going to have to sand later, okay? All right, so we have one more screw left. Let me flip this over and I'll take so you guys can see it directly, okay? Right here is where we're going in. Just follow the hole. You know, we already... Beautiful. I know not everybody's going to have a tap block. I use a tap block because it keeps everything nice and straight. It's a nice thing to have. It's really used for like a tap. That one sunk beautifully. So everybody can see here. Let's get you in focus. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We got 10 screws just holding the front baffle to the sides. Okay. So we're going to work left to right, tweeter on your left. Got some glue on the inside, so not bad. So I like to scrape the excess, and then I'll put it like in this right here where I'm going to use it. I guess it's more of an OCD thing because I just like a cleaner inside. From doing car audio for so long, you know, your boxes, you want them to look good, so. All right. Looks like we're cooking with Crisco. All right, good. It's for y'all. New, that's just terminology. I was raised up with, you know, that meant that you're doing something right, everything's going good, so. All right, we're really flush, really happy. Okay, so. Insides. Now here's where you really want to pay attention. Let's start with our tweeter. Okay? This is our tweeter board. Now our tweeter is going to set right in between here, and it's going to lock in place right there. Okay? Now what I do, I'm going to take my tweeter back out. Let's put some glue in it. We'll try to get you guys right there. So I'll start in the bottom so you can see what I'm doing. We're going to put a layer of glue. Inside there, okay? Now something I just hung up on something. Okay, so let's get our little brush out here before we get all these runoffs. So I want glue right there in that trough. Sorry if my hand is in the way. I'm trying to make sure this is done right, and then I'll bring you in to see it. I wish I could get you closer down here to where, you know, but I can't hold the camera and do this with together, so. All right, we are, we got a lot of glue in there, so I'm gonna set this on my little tray. I gotta glue this side. I was trying to show you how I do it. That didn't pan out very well. Okay. All right. So, all I'm doing is I'm smoothing this out in my tracks. You know, we pre-marked everything. So that's what your lines are for, so you know that's where your glue needs to be. Hopefully everybody's with me on that. I'm not trying to leave anybody behind. I'm trying to keep this as simple as we can. All right, so put your glue all the way in your lines, all right? Now, this is a little trick that I like to do. It's a little bit of insurance, okay? So slide your baffle in to where it's in your lines, okay? Now right there is about perfect where I want this to be. I want to knock the bottom over a little bit. You just want it in between your lines. You know, that's your guide. Now I'm going to now not on your screw hole, but right beside your screw holes, okay? So I'm gonna put it a little bit down, like right there. Now, what I'm doing is I'm tightening it up. Get you in the shot here. I'm just putting pressure against this from side to side, okay? That's literally all I'm doing. So now let's work on the top side. Let's do that. I'm gonna flip you over so you can see right here what I'm doing right here. So we're gonna have to drill it out and screw it just like we did the last one. All right, we're going to go a little slow here because I don't want to move that inside. Okay, we're looking good. I'm happy with that. Let's sink a screw in it, and that way we know we're set. Now, see how I inset that screw? Hopefully you can see. It's a little far away right there. That's what you want. You know you have a good hold when it's like that, okay? I always look at my lines, make sure I'm not, you know, crazy and way off into space, so everything looks good. Go ahead and screw out the second one. See how easy that one drilled? That means we hit a pocket. You know, you're in between the different sheets. What is that? Okay, I'm using that screw. That one had a burr on the side of it. It would have dug in pretty hard. So let's go ahead and get this one in. Countersink it. And then we're going to do our last one the exact same way. Flip our box over and do the other side. Okay, looking good there. Okay, looking good. Got some squeeze out, that's what we're looking for. Trying to keep all this junk off here as we go, that way we're not sitting in a big mess. All right. Gotta put some glue there. See, that one split anyway. I mean, it's just, the glue's gonna seal it. So, maybe I didn't drill it far enough in. I'll take that into consideration. I tried to go quite a bit down. So, any hoozle. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and drill all three of these. All right, we're going to put our middle screw in first. Sorry you guys can't see me. It's maybe move it that far. I'm doing just repeating what we did on the other side. Same thing. That one countersunk really well. Let's try our top one here. See, that one did really well. I don't know why. But glue's gonna fix that, okay? So don't worry if you did. You know, you're gonna be okay. Glue is very forgiving, wood's very forgiving, so you know it's easy to work with, easy to redo if you have to, you know what I mean? Okay, so that side's done. That side's done. I don't know what we were stuck to there. So I can remove this clamp. There we go. Now, I would suggest this. Being this is basically a baffle, so look inside here. Make sure I'm not going to get this all. And run your finger in the cracks and smooth it out into the recesses, just to make sure you get a really good coverage on that. Okay? It ain't going to hurt you. The glue comes off eventually. And I say eventually because it is some pretty resilient stuff. So I'm going to put a little bit more glue in mine. Because I wasn't able to spread it all out, so I'm gonna put a little bit more in there and just in that crack. There we go. And voila. Okay, so our tweeter baffle is in, right? All right, so let's go back to where we were. Tweeter's on the left, and that's how we started. Okay, everybody with me? Right there. All right. Next thing is we're going to put an end piece in. Okay, so you know you got two end pieces. Now they're going to be tight because they're cut exact. Okay, so sometimes you can start from the top. It's a little easier. Anyway, I don't have glue in there yet, so I don't want to smash it in. Okay, so what you're going to do is go through and repeat this. You're going to have a full piece here, okay? I'm going to cover the short one, which is right here at the base port. All right, you remember this one's 2 inches shorter. Look right here. It's 2 inches shorter than the other one, okay? You see it right there? 2 inches right here, okay. Now I'm going to get that off camera. I'm going to do this end and do this end, and then I'll do the short one on camera, okay? All right, I'll get you guys back in a second. I'm trying to save on some of the time here. All right, we're back. I just want to show you like the screw patterns, so you guys get a good look. Let's. This is your bottom. There's your base port. Remember, that's the one that's 2 inches shorter. See how I'm using my lines? That's where I put my glue. And on the outside, see if you look, they go right with each other. They're parallel. See how that one goes in and it comes out. And right on the other side, see how I knew exactly where the screws should sit. Okay. Now this is your tweeter port baffle. We did it the same way. I showed you just a little bit earlier. See there? Okay. I'm going to do this last end, and then I'm going to bring you back, and we're going to set the top piece. Okay. That's going to be the only one that's going to be a little difficult, and I'll show you how we're going to set it shallow. And then we're going to barely tap it in with a clamp on it. And then we're going to throw some screws to it. Okay? I'll bring you back in a second.